On November 17, 1967, the eve of his birthday, with 95% of the votes counted, it was clear that the people had overwhelmingly sent Doi to bring the cause of justice to the Senate. On December 30, he took his oath of office as a senator of the realm before Justice Roberto Concepcion. The new Congress opened on January 22, 1968. It was one of his happiest days. This was where he wanted to be, in the hallowed halls where his father once stood to debate the burning issues of the day. On January 27, 5 days after entering the Senate, he fulfilled his campaign promise. He filed 7 bills to ensure the poor of speedy and inexpensive justice. 5 of the bills were passed into law and are now known as the Laurel Justice for the Poor laws. On March 4, Doi rose to deliver his maiden speech, Crisis of Confidence. Of it, he would say later, it was a very idealistic speech. Doi warned those in government that the common man everywhere was pushing forward relentlessly to assert his dignity and to claim his rightful place in Almighty God's earth. He appealed for the restoration of the old meaning of public service as a public trust. The speech was widely applauded by government officials, the press, and the general public. It set the tone of how Doi would conduct himself in office, by infusing in it the highest standards of morality, selflessness, and devotion to the national interest. As he often did, he went about his work with selfless enthusiasm and devotion. The visionary in him emerged after the Senate sent him on a pioneering mission of friendship to China, with whom we still did not have diplomatic relations. In a report filed immediately after the trip, Doi proposed establishing diplomatic relations with China. 2 years later, the Philippines opened diplomatic relations with China. Another facet of Doi's visionary leadership emerged with his vigorous sponsorship of amendments to the Agrarian Reform Code. He stood on the Senate floor for 6 months of rigorous debate. His aim was to remove all the loopholes that made this law ineffective. He dedicated this effort to our suffering people in the farms and hinterlands, who have been working for centuries on land that could never be theirs, so that at long last they can say, "This land is mine." Doi had found his home in the Senate. It fulfilled his youthful dreams, a God-given opportunity to carry on where his father had left off in serving the country. Then darkness fell on the land they loved so dearly when martial law was proclaimed.